Right, I'd like to welcome everyone to round 8 of the Reykjavik Open, penultimate round of the competition, so getting very interesting now. So these are the money rounds really, the last 2 games. Any result here is extremely important. It decides whether the GMs go home with their rent money or whether they go home crying their eyes out. So you're probably going to be crying your eyes out, aren't you? I'm afraid.
Yes, yesterday I was supposed to do the commentary, but I lost a really bad game and I ran home like a little girl, like everybody should in a position like that.
But you managed to win today, so that's okay. If you win the last round, it's not so bad, is it? I mean,
well, it looks okay then.
Plus we got some strong little girls playing.
Yeah.
I should not insult little girls. My colleague is right.
Because you might play one the next round. That'd be very embarrassing.
That's actually very likely. But you're a one happy ginger, aren't you?
Happy ginger. Yeah, I suppose that's one way of putting it. Yeah, quite a happy ginger at the moment. Yeah, I mean,
I was already. I was at the bar watching Simon's game, and Simon, as usually, was in a dodgy position.
As usual. Cheers, mate.
But I just saw the evaluation on chess bomb that Simon was
-10 or something.
Yeah, -10, which normally indicates that you're in trouble.
Most of my games are about, like you say, about -5 at some point. So it's so complicated. But
so I was ordering the beer to welcome the sulking ginger, but no, he managed to turn it around in an amazing fashion, and now. I mean, you have some chances of prize money now.
Yeah,
6 out of 8.
6 out of 8's okay. I mean, I'll
play for in the last
someone
round.
very strong in the last round with the white pieces. So obviously, if I can manage to win that, then it'll be the first time I ever go home with anything from the Reykjavik tournament.
Should we do the first cheers of the breathing sessions?
Cheers. So yeah, good stuff.
Congratulations.
Okay, well, so far.
Lucky man.
Well, there's a lucky man. It's interesting. I mean, let's just have a look at the results going on, because I think a lot of top boards, are probably going to be draws. I mean, we're going to take a look at the board 1 encounter a bit later on. That was Kariana versus Sokolov, proper game. Board 2, Boris Avrik actually drew with Cheparinov. Board 3, I'm not sure what's going on in Navarra Hess actually. No, I mean, pretty much come straight from my game in here. So, excuse me. Board 4, I think someone said Yifang Ho is going to beat Backland with the black pieces. She seems so cool under pressure. Yeah. It's unbelievable. She's just such a chilled player, you know.
She's a natural, I think.
She is a natural, natural chess player. I mean, she just doesn't get nervous. Not like the rest of us who are shaking messes, you know.
You look pretty cool when you're under pressure.
I don't know about that. You should see what I'm like inside. It's quite embarrassing actually. I mean, the first time ever. I must be getting a bit older. I was playing Hastings tournament reasonably recently, and I was playing one game there. I was getting short of time, and it's the first time I've actually become a shaking mess during the game. It's really embarrassing. I was trying to move the pieces, and my hands were all over the shop, and a massive crowd, and it wasn't good.
But I think most chess players feel it this way. I mean, you try to look cool on the outside, but inside you're just a little rapid.
I mean, that's one of the great things of chess, though, isn't it? I mean, that's why I play, because the buzz you get from these sort of time trouble and stuff is a great feeling. Yeah. I wouldn't say it's better than sex, but it's a great feeling. Okay.
Let's.
Yifang has won.
Yifang has won. Okay. And now board. Okay, let's just go down.
She's in a great position as well, with 6.5 and white.
She win? She got potential winning chances. I mean, a bit unlikely, but
she might actually play Caruana.
That'd be a great pairing. Wow. Well, if Yifang might have white against Caruana, and that'd be. Well, if she wins that, she wins the tournament, I guess.
We need to fix that pairing.
We need to fix it. Let's see what we can do, shall we? So, yeah. So, a very interesting pairing. Okay, well, Gwaine Jones bounced back today with a win. Yeah. He's playing extremely well, and he played a very good game yesterday, but he just went a bit wrong at the end. So, he had a very messy win, I think. We both had messy wins today.
Yeah, it was quite a strange game, I think.
Yeah, crazy game. But that's kind of Gwaine is very good in most positions, but he does love his crazy chess now and again as well, shall we say?
Like all you Englishmen.
Yeah, well, and the Icelandic, should I say? Not adverse to a bit of craziness. So. I think Yuri won. I'm not sure, against Mark Arnold.
He had a better endgame, and normally if you want somebody to have somebody playing for your life to have a better end game, that's probably a Ukrainian or Russian.
They know their technique, don't they?
They know their stuff. They know their stuff.
It's funny how their chess maybe differs to ours. I mean, we're just sort of stupid nutters at the chessboard.
Where does that come from? Where does that come from?
I think it's good training, rather than we get most of our training playing blitz or stupid rubbish like that, you know. So I don't know what's happening in Kosovo. Arena Crush is still going on. Maze's up there, managed to beat the strong player from the Faroe Islands, Ziska, we've talked about previously. Got Sportsman of the Year, actually, Ziska, in the Faroe Islands, and very talented player. Might be, well, should be Faroe's only Grandmaster at some point in his career.
Definitely. That's a given.
And Gretarsson, who's one of the probably best talents in Iceland. Another ginger, so obviously helps the ELO.
Two GM norms and a close to 2,500 rating. And you and Ingvar were talking about him some days ago, and I wanted to add to that point that what was great about he recently had this great result in the European Team Championship, beating Zirov, getting two GM norms at once. But what was great about him and really shows the potential he has is that at this tournament he was playing Pavel Elyanov from Ukraine. And he basically needed a draw and then maybe a win against some weaker player in their last round. And Pavel, 2,700 player, offered
very strong. Used to be 2,750 or something. So
offered Gretarsson a draw, which normally you should just
straight away for your GM.
But Hjörvar just said no because he was better.
What a fighter! That's great.
Yeah,
you know, I played this guy as well. Ulyanov or whatever his I can't remember his name, but Elyanov.
And you made him look like a
well, I managed to win, but it was quite funny. At one moment during the game, I was playing and I got a very good position from the opening. And I was drinking a coffee, and he said, "You can't drink coffee when you play me." So apparently, I was.
Is that part of the FIDE handbook? Don't drink coffee while playing Elyanov.
Well, it's a new rule. I think he's maybe brought in, so that made me quite angry, should I say? You know, so I thought I better.
Probably position was. At that point.
He wasn't a happy bunny. So okay. So we have another Icelandic player. We haven't talked much about Stingrimsson. Who's one of your top players.
Yeah, he had I think in 2008 he was one of the winners of the Reykjavik Open.
Okay.
And I mean he's bouncing back from. You saw the swindle that happened to him against the Kore from India. It was an amazing turnaround, and Héðinn is bouncing back nicely, and I mean he's in a good position for the final round, probably white, and then
definitely
with 6 points. And we should also mention Kore from India, who beat Fabian Libisveski, sorry about the pronunciation, on board 12, and he's on track for a GM norm, definitely.
So if he wins his next game, I guess he's okay, so that's good stuff.
And the disaster of my family is that Bragi is probably...
Which board was Bragi on?
Bragi was on board 10.
Board 10, okay.
Bragi Thorfinnsson, my younger brother, and he is losing probably against Alexander Ibatov.
It's a very tough pairing with Black, actually. I mean, I guess if he loses this, even if he wins tomorrow, he probably can't get a Grandmaster norm. So let's hope he gets a miracle.
Let's update you on that. I have done all the calculation, and he just needs a player with 2366 plus.
In the last round?
Beat him with white. And,
even if he loses today?
Yeah. So,
that's some positive news anyway. And he had the white pieces. So,
so he has definitely, hopefully, chances tomorrow.
Let's hope he gets someone 2366.
And do you know why that is? That's because of Fabiano Caruana with 2767.
It's great to have him in the tournament.
Yeah, that boosts up your ELO rating for sure.
Good stuff. Well, best of luck to Bragi tomorrow. Let's hope he doesn't take the loss too badly if he does lose, because obviously it's quite hard bouncing back from this position. And if we go down, we just have a look at some other scores in the 5. Well, we have Andreas Moen from Norway against Kingus, and I'm not sure what's happening there. Okay, we'll have a quick look at the end of my game. Henrik D. Nielsen managed to win. Quite a nice pairing for him there against lower played.
Also, it was a completely mad game, I think. I was not sure what was happening there.
Okay, interesting.
But another, maybe an interesting results through the whole tournament is Einar Hjalti Jensson. We've mentioned him a couple of times on board 23.
Has he got an IM norm now?
Yeah, he has. I think I can state that he has secured an IM norm with one round left.
Brilliant.
He needs,
very good.
He just needs to play someone with 24.90 approximately, and then he may lose the final game.
Okay, if you're saying Einar has been hibernating, is that right, for the last... how long has he been hibernating for?
The last international tournament he played was 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
And he's only 30.
Wow.
So he just went out for a couple of years, but he's back.
Okay. Strong talent then.
He is quite very much so talented.
Yeah, must be. Okay, well that's a great result. So at least one of you guys have got a norm, which is good to see. And well, it could be a couple of norms. I mean, we're going to have a look at the end to one game lower down. I don't know which board this was.
That was board 20 something.
28 was it?
Erik Varala.
So that was another good result for a Swedish player this time.
Yeah, and he's actually, I'm not sure how many times, but probably at least 3 times he has visited Iceland to play this tournament, and always had a good result.
Well, I got a couple of emails today actually, just on my website, and a couple of people saying the tournament looks great and they want to visit it from England next year. So let's hope we can get more people coming over from England next year. I mean, all I can say, very recommended. You know, lovely tournament, and just a great place to go to. So yeah, let's hope we get more entries.
We can only promise one thing: next year it's gonna be better.
Of course. So, okay. Well, should we move into one of the games? Do you want to do that?
Okay. Should we start with an upset on board 28, Erik Varala?
Okay, sure. I'll just see if I can bring this up. Okay, so it was. We're only going to look at one position here, and this was against a young Norwegian player.
International master Thomasson.
2400.
I actually have to tell you one story about Thomasson.
Okay, this is very funny. I think I was at this tournament. Okay,
it's actually I
thought you wanted to keep this story quiet.
Well, I mean, we have to tell the world about this story. Thomasson is army trained, and then it happened in Novi Sad during the European Team Championship, and. Okay, Novi Sad is not basically a dodgy city, but still, so you can always...
Careful what you say.
Okay, but then my brother, Bragi Thorfinnsson, and an Icelandic international master, who I will not name, was...
you?
No, okay. they were walking downtown Novi Sad late evening, and a guy approaches them.
One guy?
One guy, with no weapon at all, but he looked a bit dodgy. So, and he asks them to give them their money. And they were 2 against 1.
Two strong Icelandic Vikings.
But they decided, of course, to pay up. So they paid the guy, and he basically mugged them with their bare hands.
Without nothing. And then they run home.
Then they ran home and complained, and they were mugged in Novi Sad. And then the night after, Thomasson, this young IM, he walks the street of Novi Sad during late evening, and 2 guys mug him with apparently a knife. I think I'm not lying that. And he, of course, just kicks their ass and doesn't pay up. And that did not look very good for my...
So what's the moral of the story? Norwegian people are much more Viking-like than Icelandic stories.
Now you're taking it too far. No, I'm absolutely disgusted. I actually was realizing
they're the proper Vikings, are they?
This wasn't a great introduction to the country of Iceland at all.
No, well, you're soft people, soft-hearted people, good-hearted people, should I say? Not soft people. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Kind-hearted people.
It's a great story.
Okay, and well, we had this interesting position where obviously White's playing very well, and it was quite a cute finish to this game. Now Tomlinson played.
Is he alive after Queen E7?
I guess there's some chances. I mean, Black played a very bad move here. White's obviously got initiative. Maybe Black could have held on with Queen E7, which he didn't play. Obviously, White's threat in this position was Queen to E6 check. So, I mean, I guess you just go Queen H5, do you? Queen H5 might be a killer here. And then you can take...
Bishop F... Yeah, of course, that's completely finished.
Well, you can take and go Knight F8, maybe. Does that hold on? Let's take on F1.
Yeah.
This is the only way to try to hold on, and then go Knight to F8, guarding... Guarding this square.
Rook F7 looks a bit nasty.
Just a little bit nasty. Yeah, this is going to be game over. So.
But what about if?
Yeah.
No, okay.
It should be winning somehow. Too many pieces around the Black King. Okay, it's nothing. Okay, yeah. I'm just assuming that's winning.
Yeah.
Okay, but the game actually finished for 8. It's a very nice finish. Black played Knight to F4, so aiming to stop this Queen E6 check.
And it looks like he's alive, almost.
Yeah, it looks like he's alive, but then this very nice move. Rook takes f4. And I actually believe Black resigned here.
Yeah, he resigned here.
And we'll just show the finish for those of you who are watching back home. One of the finishes could have been Rook takes f4, and now you could do this Queen e6 check. If King f8, then Knight to h7 is mate. And if we go King h8, then we go Queen to g6, threatening Queen to h7. And if King g8, well, at the worst, we can win the Queen by going Knight to e6 check. So, so a nice finish anyway.
Yeah,
that's quite a cute finish.
That's a good way to finish off an opponent.
Definitely, yeah. It's always nice.
Rating you and out-titling you.
Exactly, yeah. Okay, so shall we move on to, let's have a look at Karajanov versus Sokolov.
Yeah.
So this is the board 1 encounter. And I haven't looked at this game yet. I don't know if you have, Bjorn, so I have no idea.
I just saw the opening, and if we go through the first move,
sure.
This Knight G-E7
it's interesting.
Is called the Kosio variation. I have played it frequently myself. I used to play it, but I stopped because it's basically crap. Well, it's not a great opening. So I was very surprised to see Sokolov using this against.
I know it's got a bad reputation, and using it against Karajanov, I mean, it's quite a brave decision.
Very brave decision.
Yeah, I mean,
and okay, C3 and pushing D4 is a normal plan. But the thing is, I always used to play it like next going for D6 and then G6 and Bishop G7.
Kind of passive way to play, yeah.
Yeah, well, and that's why I always had not so great results with it.
Okay,
but then Sokolov played D5, which is known. But after Knight takes E5, D takes E4, Queen E2, then apparently Bishop E6 is a new move.
Okay. And, so I've seen this move before.
This move?
Someone was showing me this move, yeah.
Are you sure, like in analysis or?
Yeah, analysis. So I think actually some club player was showing me this Bishop E6.
Okay.
Back in England, I think. I know I've seen this position. Someone said Bishop E6 is interesting with a lot of play. Yeah, I've seen this move before actually.
And Fabiano, he thought for almost 30 minutes after this move.
So actually a very good opening choice against Karajanov because
it's an achievement to manage to
get him out of the books. So move 6, move 6.
Surprise the world number 6.
There's not many 27 sort of 70s that you can surprise and move 6 and still go on to get a draw as well. So I mean, let's go through, see if anything happened. I mean, after this, I mean, this doesn't look very critical, does it? I mean, it's very symmetrical pawn structure. And
you have some trouble with the bishop on f8, but
okay, well, let's get that bishop out. So
solved.
Yeah, and,
that was all the trouble.
Well, I mean, let's have a look. After this, bishop d6, knight d2, castles. It's clear that black's equalised there.
Yeah, I mean, no trouble at all.
Move 10 with black against Karajanov, and obviously with the black pieces, you're always a bit worse normally from the opening when you're playing someone this strong, and he's already equalised because the pawn structure is symmetrical. If anything, black's slightly better here because his pieces are well, he's got better development here. So very good opening choice. I mean, Sokolov's he prepares very cleverly, I think is correct in saying. And let's have a look how things happen because it's pretty sort of stale position at the moment. Let's see if any action happened later on. I mean, okay, well, this is interesting. Sokolov forces. Okay, now he takes the C pawn. So he's kind of unbalanced the pawn structure now, which indicates that Sokolov was going for the win here. And well, he's a brave player, isn't he, Sokolov? I mean, I think it's fair to say. And if anything, I quite like black's position still.
Yeah,
it's all right. Okay, you've got more pawn islands. You've got this 1, 2, 3, but you have an extra central pawn, and it's an interesting position. This so. Okay, I mean, it's still fairly even, isn't it? I mean, it's not much going on. Let's have a look, see anything happen later on. Okay, well, white's centralised quite well, but like, okay, these players are so good that it's going to be hard to win unless something drastic happens in this position. And now, some pressure against the B pawn. And, okay, more pawns get swapped off. Obviously, the more pawns that get swapped off, more pieces that get swapped off, the more likely the game is to become a draw.
Yeah.
And opposite coloured bishops as well. That's the other thing, isn't it? So when you've got opposite coloured bishops on different coloured squares, it's again very likely to become a draw. Okay, and well, it just looks very even now, doesn't it? Don't you think? I mean, I don't think
it's a bit.
It's a bit boring.
Boring, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So let's whiz through it. Wow.
Okay, now there's an interesting moment.
Okay.
That's what we love.
Okay, so a little tactic there. Cheeky is an English expression. You probably don't know what that means, do you?
Cheeky? No.
Cheeky, you don't. Cheeky, oh, do I have to explain that now?
You don't even know what it means yourself.
Well, I don't know how to describe it. Cheeky means, it's a hard one to explain.
That's an English lesson of the day.
Yes, yeah, English lesson of the day from GM Williams. Cheeky.
I don't know what it means.
Cheeky means you're like pushing it a little bit, but in a fun way. You're like, oh, that's a cheeky thing to do.
Okay.
Like, okay, I'll forget about it.
I don't have a clue.
Any better?
Show lack of respect. Usually, little kids are cheeky when they shoot with water pistols in your face.
True. Yeah. A good explanation. I don't know if people back here can know, but cheeky is one way you can say is like a little kid's like messing about a bit, and he's being a bit cheeky. So it's a little bit naughty, maybe a bit naughty in a fun way, maybe. Yeah. Something like that. Naughty in a fun way.
Why are we having this discussion?
Well, look, Bjorn, we do everything now. We look at chess. We give English lessons.
Okay.
We do the whole lot in here. You know, we're
tomorrow morning we'll have a lesson of matters of love. Stay tuned.
You better run that one.
So, yeah, you don't know actually nothing about that.
Yeah. Cheers, mate. So, what happened here? Well, if pawn takes bishop, then obviously the knight to e3 is some nasty trick because the king moves, we take the rook, and then we have
double on the d file.
Double on the d file. Defend this, so then we double again, and black is going to be winning because black's going to win the big exchange up at the end of it all. So for that reason,
Caruana, I won't probably fall for that.
Nope. So he took this one, and now interesting, he's grabbed the pawn, but then he grabs one back. So okay, it's still very even, isn't it?
Simplification sacrifice basically. But now it's definitely drawn with players of this caliber.
Yeah, opposite kind of bishops. I mean, we'll zoom through the moves because I don't expect there's many more interesting moments here. Like we said before, more pieces that get swapped off. Oh well, as soon as all the rooks come off, I don't think we need to look anymore because this is well known to be drawn. Even if you didn't have this e pawn, it's probably just a draw. I've had this kind of thing, you know, without the e pawn, maybe without the e and h pawn, you could still draw this position. Yeah. Even though I'm not against Caruana, I wouldn't like to have that. So, okay, so
but I mean, I think the news of this game is basically a great opening choice by Sokolov. I mean, playing some system that doesn't have great reputation, but he had some ideas and he got a great position.
Well, let's zoom back to results quickly and just see where that leaves them both in the standing, because this was the board one clash. Yeah. And let's just try to work out what's going to happen in the last round, because Ivan's now 6.5. How many people? We have one person. Only one person, so Caruana has 7, only person, clear lead.
Refresh that.
And okay, so if you bear with me, I'm just going to refresh the screen.
You just go here.
Okay, and so we can hopefully get an update on results. And well, just behind Caruana on
6.5, it's Avruk and Hu Ivan.
And Sokolov as well.
And Sokolov, yes. Sokolov, Avruk and Hu Ivan on 6.5.
So, okay.
So I think what Sokolov definitely will be hoping for is that Caruana is going to play black tomorrow. So,
against Yifang maybe as well, so tough, very tough.
So a draw there would mean that Ivan
could be his third year in a row.
Ivan could win this tournament by beating his opponent tomorrow.
Okay, so Van's got white in the next round, so it's going to be very interesting. I mean, that's a clash, and it looks very likely we're going to get this ball one clash tomorrow. Yifang versus Caruana, which will be, well, that's probably the clash most of us want to see, to be honest.
We want them to play in this tournament, so playing in the last round for the win would be
top seed versus the women's world challenge.
Like a novel.
Like a not love novel.
Don't go there, man.
Okay, right.
Okay, and Sokolov and Avruk is also a likely pairing.
Yeah, that is very likely. Sokolov white against Avruk, who's very tough player to beat, but Sokolov has the white pieces. So, so what time do we start tomorrow? If anyone wants to log into the live games,
at 1 p.m. Yeah.
1 p.m. Okay, so if you want to, and I guess the commentary will be. I don't know. My maths is. I'll give my English lesson for the day.
You can see that on the website when we will be likely to start. But and I think we should wrap this show up by looking at a completely mad game between Guðmundur Kjartansson and Simon Williams. What do you say?
Let's have a little look then. Okay, so So I had a very interesting game today.
Completely lost game today.
I don't know about that.
What did you say? -10 at some point?
No, that's an exaggeration. I think you imagine that extra naught from somewhere.
Okay.
But I mean, obviously we haven't spoken about Gudmundur previously. And he's a very strong player. He's got at least 1 GM or maybe 2 Grandmaster norms, even though his rating is incredibly low. He's a very tough player to play.
But now I have to, because of this story I told about my brother's adventures in Novi Sad, then I have to tell another story about how tough the Icelanders are. And that's about Guðmundur Kjartansson playing Mark Hepton in the final round of the Scottish Championship.
Yeah.
And then Guðmundur needed just a draw to secure his first GM norm. And Hepton offered in the draw in a very shaky position. Nobody.
Very complicated.
Very complicated. And Guðmundur, just needing the draw for the norm, of course said no.
Yeah.
And played on.
You're all just crazy. That's what it is.
Who would do that?
Very brave players. I mean, I knew this story before the game, and Gudmundur has actually played. I run a tournament at a big slick poker club one time, and he played there. Had a very bad tournament, but he's a very up and down player.
I mean, you don't know whom you're going to play against, because he can play like a 2600
or a 2100 maybe.
That's your words.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, not often, should I say? No, okay, I'll just talk about the interesting moments during the game, because to be honest, I spent most of the morning looking at the King's Indian defence, and most of my preparation has actually been walking to the venue at Gawain. And on the 5-minute walk, I normally ask him what I should play, and he told me some lines today, and I thought, well, I don't know, I probably should have done a bit more work on that. But I spent a lot of time looking at the King's Indian defence, so then I looked at some really dodgy line. I thought I'll go for that, and then I had a look at it again, which I shouldn't have done half an hour before the game, and it was just complete rubbish. So I turned up at the board today, and I thought, well, this guy's a very attacking player, so let's just play the Czech Benoni.
Oh yeah, the logical choice.
So something very boring and solid. And okay, well, one interesting moment in the opening was here. I actually had this position as white against Nisipiano, a very strong player from Romania, 2650, and he played B5 against me in this position, and he got quite a lot of counterplay. So I thought I'd give this a go. And here I actually made a massive mistake. Okay, it's like a Benko gambit.
Yeah, a bit.
But normally you have your bishop on G7, which looks good. But on the plus side, this bishop can actually come over to A5.
Okay, yeah.
Which is quite interesting, actually. So it's quite an interesting gambit.
What, Queen B8 or?
Yeah, I played a horrible move here. I mean, I played Queen B6, and this is horrible because when my bishop comes to E7 to D8, my queen blocks its route to A5. So I should have played Queen B8 here.
Okay.
And I realised as soon as I played it, big mistake, because now I can quickly move my bishop to A5 and I have quite good pressure for the pawn here.
Okay.
So that was one moment, and then he played a very imaginative sacrifice later on. Very interesting. In this position here, I managed to gain quite good pressure. All my pieces are in good squares. My bishop's doing well. Okay, he's got a pawn extra. But now my opponent, instead of playing something passive like this knight to C1, he played something I mean, this shows how imaginative he is, and actually a very interesting move. He went this knight to C1, which just gives up the exchange, but the point is, after I capture here, he actually has very good hold on the light squares, especially C4 and B5. So it's very, very imaginative I did this. And
positional exchange sacrifice.
Positional exchange sacrifice, and he looked very calm when he played it. So I played a horrible move later on. Okay, there's a lot of messing about. I brought this knight around, and I'll just show you one moment later on. Around here, I mean, the one advantage I had in this game, I was always about half an hour up on the clock, and I basically just hustled him, shall I say. So in this position here, I played after bishop E2. I played a horrible move. I should just try to keep calm here, but I was a bit worried about him going bishop B5, knight C4, bishop C6. I lashed out with C4, which is, well, I say a pawn sacrifice.
You just always want to have counterplay, don't you?
Yeah, I always want to have some counterplay, but this is just rubbish, because we got a position where I managed to get rid of his knight, but then I got this position where his A and B pawns
are just
too strong. I had no counterplay here. He puts his bishop on C6 and he just pushes his pawns like the boards and queens. So around here,
were you thinking I'm not going to do the daily briefing today?
No, of course not. I thought I'd throw my kingside pawns up in and see what happens. So and then I thought if I lose, I won't do the daily briefing. So yeah. And okay, a bit later on, managed to get some counterplay. He got his bishop to C6. He's played this perfectly. Looks like his pawns are just going to queen. Okay, so I lashed out of f5, and then I couldn't actually see any way to get counterplay here. The problem is if I take on e4, he just plays queen takes e4, and what do I do next? And then he basically goes b5, b6, a6, b7, queen. And there's nothing I can do. The bishop on c6 is worth a rook on its own.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
At least a rook.
So I saw one way to try to have a punt, so I went f4, b5, h5. Just the idea is to go g5, g4.
and queen.
And queen over there. Unfortunately, he's got a couple of pawns in the way. Well, I don't have a couple of pawns over here.
Okay.
And now, I thought I'd better just go all in, as they say. This is a good move because all he has to do is swap off dark square bishops, then queen is pawns.
Yeah.
So after this, took on g3 and kept punting away, g5, and now g4. I mean, it's my only try really. I was hoping he'd go rook to b3 here when there's a nice little tactic. I can take, and then take on f3, and I think this should be winning for me after takes, check.
And your bishop stops the pawn easily.
Yeah. So, but obviously he's a good tactical player, so he played f4. The move I was fearing, but at least around here I was feeling a little bit more comfortable because even though I'm probably still losing, it's a bit messy, and he only had he spent a lot of time, 10 minutes left here, so this is what maybe acted against him in the end. Queen g7, bishop takes, queen takes. So at least here it takes him a bit longer to get his queens going, because if he goes b7, I cover the a7 square. If he goes a6, I take on b6, but I'm sure I'm still in trouble here. f5. So I was playing very quickly here because I wasn't that happy still. Well, I was happier, but I thought I'd just keep playing quickly. b7, they're getting a little bit nearer.
h4.
I actually thought rook e7 might be a draw here. I was considering playing this for a draw, maybe. Attacking e4, if he goes rook e1, then I can take on b7. Rook takes, threatening rook b2, and I thought maybe he plays something like queen e3.
And you take and...
I can check first. Maybe I thought this should be a draw, but I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm okay here. But I thought, because he's short of time, I'll keep some pieces on the board and go h4. Yeah. This is much more dangerous. If he takes on g4, I have rook g7, winning his queen. So he played rook b3, covering across this rank here. Yeah. And now g3. My idea here is to go h3 and just go rook h7, keep punting away. So he goes king h3, so he spotted my idea. Okay. But now g2, I managed to give up the other pawn.
Just to open some lines.
Open up the g-file, yeah, rook g7. And now my queen and rook are quite dangerous here. I don't know, I mean, around here, actually the computer, I think, thinks White's still doing okay, but it looked very dangerous at the time. Yeah. He has to be very careful where he moves his queen, and he's down to his last minute here. Queen h1 looks rather funny, too passive. Queen f2. And it's pretty much, I don't know, I mean, it's maybe he can defend, but I didn't see how. I mean, rook g3 is...
I actually saw this on Chess Bomb, and I think it's almost finished here.
Okay, yeah, it looks pretty bad here.
Yeah.
Okay, and the finish was queen h2, queen f1 check, king here. Obviously, I'll go rook h7, but I saw quite a nice finish.
You can also go queen c1.
Oh, queen c1. Queen c1's very crafty, and just bring the queen back to h6. Yeah. King f7 was played. Yeah. King f7, threatening rook h8, get the last piece in the game. He's only got one move here, which he found. Well, it doesn't really help, actually. Bishop e8 check. Rook takes. He gets a queen. But then after rook takes e4 check, he resigns. Wow. Because it's mate after king here. Queen takes pawn check, king here, and then, well, something like that's checkmate. So
after this game, now I want to ask you, what is your view on luck in chess?
I think you make your own luck in chess.
You make your own luck.
You better do, because otherwise I'm a rubbish player. I'm always lucky. I think you can play quite practically, and I guess I'm quite a practical player myself. You make your own luck by maybe playing quick in some positions and playing.
Be resourceful. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got a bad position, then you have to keep fighting. I think so. Yeah. That's one thing. And these pawns are going up the board, so I had to try something. So, but you can be lucky, because you can get lucky in like openings, get the right opening and stuff like this. Yeah. What do you think about luck? I mean,
I agree with you, because I'm always considered lucky.
Okay.
With this bollocks. Is that not what you say?
Something like that. Right, on those final words from Bjorn. I think
the first swearing in the daily briefing.
Okay, I'm sure it's okay. Anyway, we're gonna have the final round tomorrow, 1 o'clock. So
yeah, we're hoping for Caruana Hu Yifan pairing. That would be fantastic for the tournament.
It's going to be great. Very, very interesting. The last round is going to be.
Is Caruana going to win it, gain some more rating, make Nakamura cry? Or is it going to be Sokolov yet again?
It's going to be very interesting. Or Hu Yifan. I mean, can she? Yeah, it's going to be very exciting last round. So.
And is this guy going to run out with with money? Prize money?
Might have done that already. So yeah, I might run out of money, but I need some prize money to restock.
So it's all to play for tomorrow, and we will see you guys later.
Okay, cheers.
Yeah.
Okay, bye then.
Bye bye.